In comparing sins the way people do, Theopatris says that the ones committed out of desire are worse than the ones committed out of anger, which is a good philosophy. The angry man seems to turn his back on reason out of a kind of pain and inner convulsion. But the man motivated by desire, who is mastered by pleasure, seems somehow more self indulgent, less manly in his sins. Theopatris is right and philosophically sound to say that the sin committed out of pleasure deserves a harder rebuke than the one committed out of pain. The angry man is more like a victim of wrongdoing, provoked by pain to anger. The other man rushes into wrongdoing on his own, moved to action by desire. In the justice system, there's sort of the premeditated murder versus a crime of passion. There's a big difference between the two, right? If somebody was going to the store, buying weapons or buying, equipment to commit the crime in advance, pre-planning it and staking somebody out versus someone got angry in a moment and in the heat of the moment did something. There is a big difference between the two. And even, the ancient philosophers here understood that there's a huge difference between knowingly doing wrong and like methodically with an icy coldness of you're wrong, you're planning it versus you kind of just reacted, your reptile brain took over. And so I give myself a lot more grace when I make a mistake because I reacted. I'm gonna try to do better in the future, obviously, but I'm gonna apologize to the person. But I understand, at least I know internally my motivations were right, that I didn't purposely do the person wrong. It just kind of happened versus if I'm methodically planning, conniving on someone. I recommend getting this particular book. It's called Meditations, a new translation with an introduction by Gregory Hayes. And there's lots of renditions of and translations. I think this one's the best. I always find myself coming back to it. I got the hard copy, which I think is a slightly different version, which I think is the best version. Other people have said the same.